Hello everybody, hope you guys are all enjoying your day. Today we're going to be looking at this southern snowstorm over parts of the southwestern United States as well as parts of the central and southern United States, where you're going to be impacted with up to 3 to 6 inches of snowfall and potentially some isolated pockets seeing over 6 inches of snowfall. And this is going to be rolling through parts of the southwest, the central United States, and then also into parts of the Ozarks where you could be impacted with some snowfall. Now we're going to get right into it here. Also, one thing before we do get into it, please consider subscribing and leaving a like on the video as well as turning on notifications. And we are going to be releasing our February 2020 forecast coming up sometime before the weekend, before we get into February. So make sure you do stay tuned for that. Now let's get into this National Weather Service. We have winter weather advisories over parts of the northern Rockies. That's for some scattered snow showers. If you live, basically, if you live anywhere in this area, this is just for scattered snow showers. But if you do live in this area, this is gonna be for more steady to heavy, moderate snowfall because of this influx of moisture coming out of the northern and northeastern part of the Pacific, where you're seeing some very moist air and moisture coming through onto shore, and that is what is creating all that winter weather advisories over parts of the northwestern United States. Now here's your system. Here's the advisories for your system. Winter weather advisories over the panhandles of Texas and Oklahoma, and we also have winter storm watches over southern Kansas and northern Oklahoma, and that is probably going to turn into some winter storm warnings as we get nearer to this event. Now, we also have winter weather advisories for parts of North Carolina, but that's for the western part and the mountainous regions of North Carolina. Now, here is your surface analysis map here from the Weather Prediction Center. Now, this system is currently off into northwesternmost Texas. You have this broader low pressure system right around here. The center of the low pressure system is right there, that surface low pressure. Now you have this cold front on the northern side of the cold front. You're about 5 degrees colder than on the southern side. This warm front not really doing too much to heat things up. A little bit warmer on the western and southern side of that warm front, but not generally not doing too much to impact those regions to the south of it. We have this low pressure in parts of Wyoming. Now that's just bringing a frontal system through and also a bit of a warm front as well through the central United States. So that's heating things up and kind of priming the environment for some heavy snowfall in these areas. So that is going to be taking place through Tuesday and then all the way through into about Wednesday and Thursday. Now, here's your simulated radar from the European model. Here's your storm system, this broader area of precipitation over parts of the central Rockies. Now, as we continue this, you're going to start to see we have the snow start to develop as we get overnight tonight and into Tuesday early in the morning. Now, as you get Tuesday morning, right around your commute time, just in time for your commute, you're going to be seeing the heaviest snow start to break out into northern Texas, into northern Oklahoma, as well as parts of southwestern Kansas. And then that kind of stretches all the way. There's this northern part of the jet stream. That's what this is right here. But that stretches all the way into Canada right there. You also have this nice kind of wrapped up low pressure system almost. You have this hook shape right here with the precipitation. This could also lead to some severe weather if you do live in any of these areas that I just highlighted. Now, as we continue this, you're going to start to see by Tuesday afternoon, the storm kind of strengthens, and then as it moves through onto, basically, as it crosses over into Oklahoma and Arkansas, it weakens a little bit as it starts to lose that moisture coming out of the Pacific. Now it's relying on that moisture coming out of the Gulf, which isn't too sufficient at this point. Now, as we continue this, you're starting to see this would be by Tuesday night, and now getting into your Wednesday morning, it's very light, scattered snowfall over parts of the central and midwestern United States. Now you start to see that severe weather potential for parts of the southern United States, the southeastern United States, but that's going to be a very minimal threat, and it's probably just going to be marginal to slight risk from the National Weather Service, so nothing really too impactful. Now, as we continue this, light snow showers start to impact parts of the Great Lakes according to this model, but it really dies down. And here's your system by this point. This is really a detached part of this system. This is your main system. You're starting to see the secondary low pressure start to form, but that's a very weak system, and then that's both of these are going to kind of move out of here. Now, let's get into your snowfall out of the European model, and we're also going to look at the RGEM model, the high resolution Canadian model, which goes out 48 hours, and then also my forecast for this event. Now, you see, we have 2 to 3, maybe 4 inches in this area here, right here. If you do live in these areas, expect about 2 to 6 inches, and then isolated pockets could receive up to 6 inches or even a little bit more as well. We also have a little bit there for the Appalachians, but that's pretty much it out of this event. Not too impressive, but I think the most impressive part of this is where it's locating. It's a very southern storm. It's over the panhandles of Texas and Oklahoma and through into Kansas. Now, that's really the only reason this would be a significant event. If this was pretty much anywhere else to the north, I don't think this would be that significant here. Now, as we continue this, the RGEM model puts this low pressure system over parts of eastern New Mexico, transfers it into parts of northern Texas. You start to see this into Kansas and into parts of Colorado and New Mexico. Start to see this heavier snowfall. Now, as we continue this, getting into Tuesday morning, this would be early morning, and now getting into your mid-morning here, you're starting to see that heavy snowfall start to move into the panhandles of Oklahoma and Texas, as well as southern Kansas. Now, this heavy band, now we're going to have to try, this is really going to be something you track on the radar, but many models have this indication that it's gonna start off through somewhere in southeast Colorado and push its way southeastward, and that'll bring some heavy snowfalls into parts of northern Texas, northern Oklahoma, and southern Kansas, of some models indicating 6 or more inches. Now, as we continue this, we start to see this continue over parts of northern Texas. Rain starting to get into the southern part. You have this large warm front. This is your warm front right here, so I'll do that in red for you. Here's your warm front right here. You also have your cold front, which is kind of stretching somewhat like this right here. And you're starting to see this moisture getting pulled up from the Gulf of Mexico. Now, as it loses all its moisture from the Pacific, it's going to start to have to bring its moisture up from the Gulf of Mexico. And unfortunately, the Gulf of Mexico isn't going to be able to do that. So you're not going to have too much moisture coming out of the Gulf of Mexico here. Now, you are going to have this snowfall on the northern side here. And this is going to be stretching all the way into Nebraska and Kansas, according to this model. And this would be by mid-afternoon on Tuesday. And as we continue this, getting into your Wednesday, and then just continues to move out and into the southeast. And unfortunately, this model doesn't go out as far as the other models, only goes out 48 hours, so it's not going to be able to cover that southeastern portion of this storm. Here's your RGEM model forecast as far as snowfall, and this is going through Wednesday morning, and my forecast will go through Thursday, the full day on Thursday, so you'll get a little bit more of a complete picture on what's going to happen. Now, you see we have about 4 to 6 inches in this little pocket right here, so accumulating snowfall and potentially significant snowfall if you do live in these areas. And make sure you do take it easy on the roads if you do live in these areas, and make sure you are driving a little bit slower than normal so that there's no accidents, because unfortunately those do happen when there is a little bit of snowfall on the ground, and that can actually lead to some icy and slippery conditions on the roadways. Now, here is your forecast for my personal forecast here, and this is going to include your storm track and your rainfall and snowfall as well. Here's your storm track. This is going to be a storm tracking from the 27th, which would be today, all the way until the 30th, which would be on Thursday. Your storm track is going to pretty much go something like this. Now, this is your main storm. You're going to have this little piece of energy that kind of splits off right around here and move to the east, and that's what's going to bring your snowfall and rainfall to parts of the Appalachians. Now, this system also has the potential to move a little bit further south and kind of track something like that. Really, even if it does, not going to make a big difference. It's really just going to be some light rain no matter what does actually occur within the storm track. Even if this shifts 100 miles south, it's not going to be a big deal because it's just rainfall, and it will be mainly under an inch no matter what. Now, here is your total snowfall that I forecasted here. We have over parts of the eastern Rockies and then getting into parts of the central and southern part of the U.S. And kind of even into the northern plains a little bit and the Ozarks. You're seeing under an inch there of snowfall, as well as parts of the Appalachians stretching all the way into Pennsylvania. Now, as you get into the interior Northeast Great Lakes, you're going to be seeing some snowfall here, but that's not going to be associated with this system. So if you are seeing snowfall in those areas from it during this time frame, it's not going to be from this event. It will be from just mainly some lake effect snowfall. So it's not going to be from this event. That's why I'm not putting it on the map here. Now, here's your 1 to 3 inch layer here, and we have that for parts of the southern Appalachians there for West Virginia, Virginia, North Carolina, and Tennessee, as well as parts of Wyoming into Colorado, Texas, and into the northern part of Oklahoma, stretching through Kansas and into western Nebraska. Now, we also even have a 3 to 6 inch layer, and I think areas here could even exceed 6 inches, but I'm not going to put that out yet. Just know that if you do live in this area, you also have the chance to overperform and receive 5 to 6, 7, 8 inches maybe in some of these areas. And that would be for northernmost Texas, northernmost Oklahoma, and as well as southern parts of Kansas. Now, here is your rainfall forecast, and this is going to be where you're seeing at least any form of any form of rainfall here. And this is going to be for parts of the Ozarks as well as the southeast and into the south central United States. Pretty much everyone here is going to be seeing under an inch of rainfall. Now, if you do live in this 1 to 2 inch area and this a bit darker green, it's going to be for Oklahoma, Arkansas, Louisiana, and even into Texas, where you could be seeing 1 to 2 inches of rainfall, and that potentially could wet some roads and make some slippery travel, but shouldn't be too big of an impact if you do live in those areas. Anyways, guys, that is going to wrap up the video. Please consider liking the video, subscribing, and turn on notifications so you never miss video when I do upload. Now, that is going to wrap the video. Anyways, guys, that was Eli the Weather Guy, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.